Welcome into Overland Park, Kansas. St. Thomas Aquinas welcomes in the Stags of Bishop Miege here on 810varsity.com. Alex Gold here with the call, along with videographer Stacy Smith. A top 25 matchup, number 13 Bishop Miege and number 19 St. Thomas Aquinas. Both teams coming off losses last week, and both teams 3-1 currently on the season. For Aquinas, they were at home last week on homecoming night, losing to Blue Valley Northwest after leading 14-0 at the half, and ended up falling 18-14. For Miege, a close game with Blue Valley for them as they dropped that game 24-21. Opening coin toss, Bishop Miege won it. They selected to defer, and they will kick off to Aquinas, and back deep for Aquinas is Nick Williams and Clayton Henning. And we're about moments away from getting this one underway. And Colin Carter will be set to kick off. And this rivalry matchup in the EKL. And here we go. Carter with the kick, and it is away. Henning will stand back into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. And Aquinas will begin from their 20-yard line. And for St. Thomas Aquinas, the quarterback Paul Height will come back out on the field. Last week, again, led his team to a 14-0 lead at the half, but in the second half, the offense struggled, and they'll try to bounce back here to start the game. Starting in at tailback tonight is going to be Austin Scherzer. As Aquinas starts in the pistol formation, they'll go trips to the left. Neil Haas along with Clayton Henning, and in motion is Joe Pyle, the junior. He'll hand it off to Scherzer, and he'll be tackled back in the backfield. Austin Scherzer is going to lose a couple of yards there. Loss of 3 on the play, and make it 2nd and 13 from the 17-yard line. 810 Varsity Football brought to you by the Kansas City Command. Season tickets for the 2012 Arena Football League season at Sprint Center are on sale now. Call 855-KC Arena as Height drops back to pass, and it's deflected by Adam Novak, the left defensive end. It's going to bring up a 3rd and long now, 3rd and 13 for Aquinas. As Clayton Henning now will check into the game for Aquinas. Joe Pyle out, as they'll need some yardage here on their opening drive of the football game. Looking for their first down here, their first set of downs. Out of the pistol again is Height. Tailback is Scherzer. Rolling out to the left, now looking for his man Henning. He's got Henning. He'll be tackled, breaks the tackle out across the 30, up to the 40, near midfield, now across midfield, and all the way down, still going past the 20, 15, and we'll see where they spot him all the way down. They're at the 10-yard line. A pass from Paul Height to Clayton Henning, and they'll spot him right around the 8-yard line. Paul Height hooking up with Clayton Henning on a 3rd and 13, and just like that, they're in striking distance. Clayton Henning and Paul Height hooking up, both of them seniors, and a big 3rd down conversion for Aquinas. Just underway here, 11:15 to go in the first quarter. Brendan Nockbar now in the backfield. Back there as well. They'll go with 2 running backs. They'll hand it off the middle. He's got some room and into the end zone. Touchdown, St. Thomas Aquinas on the opening drive. That's Zach Martinez. Zach Martinez punches it in off of one toss, so they go from a long pass to Clayton Henning from Paul Height, and the very next play they punch it right up the gut for a touchdown, and Aquinas takes the early lead. And they pick up where they kind of left off, at least in the first half of last week's game, and a good sign for the Aquinas offense. They did struggle, though, in the second half last week. But in the first half, the offense was able to move, and they'll be able to do that here on the first drive. And they'll have Declan Fogarty now for the extra point, and it's blocked. Going up the gut for Bishop Miege, coming up with a nice block. And it's number 54, Brad Ivy. Ivy, the middle linebacker, a sophomore. So with 11-11, a quick score on the opening drive. They score in 5 plays, a 5-play drive. for Aquinas. But the missed extra point, we'll see if that costs them. Last week, it took a couple of possessions for Aquinas to score, a couple of fourth down conversions, and they still weren't able to score until late in the first quarter. So a good start for Aquinas, and now Miege will get a chance to answer. As the Miege offense led by quarterback Montel Cozart. Bishop Miege head coach Tim Grunhard, his 6th season at Bishop Miege. Of course, they were the 2009 Class 4A state champions. And the kick is away, so here comes Miege's shot. And a nice kick. He'll take it right around the 5-yard line. Now cutting across the field to the near sideline, out across the 20, 25, up across the 30, got a little bit of room to near the 35-yard line. He'll be knocked out of bounds. Taking it from his own, right around the 35. It looks like they'll spot it at the 36-yard line. And so Montel Cozart, the junior quarterback, will come on for Miege. And a defense for Aquinas, who gave up 18 points in the second half last week. We'll look for a little better start to this football game. And Miege, again, a tight one last week, 24-21 loss. They'll have Johnson, the tailback, and in the pistol formation now, dropping back in the shotgun is the quarterback Montel Cozart. Wide receiver on the near side of the field is Johnson McKinley. Quickly passes out on the flat. He's got a little bit of room out across the 40 up to the 45 near the 50 into opponent's territory. A quick first down and more as they get into Aquinas territory. Montel Cozart, a quick pass out to Trey Parmalee. Last year, Trey Parmalee, a first-team All-League, first-team All-State, and an Otis Taylor finalist for best wide receiver in the KC area last year. One of Cozart's favorite targets. So from the 43-yard line now is Miege. They'll go out of the shotgun formation again. Still Quanzi Johnson, the tailback. 3 wide receivers on the near side of the field. Play clock down to 5 as still Barky Outdoors down to 3, 2, 1, and just gets it off. Quickly another pass out to Parmalee, this time on the near side of the field, out across the 40, near to 35, and tackled right around the 33-yard line. So 2 quick passes out in the flat, this time on the near side of the field. And they're going to give him the first down. So a first down for Miege up to the 32-yard line now. Staying in that shotgun formation, we'll see that quite a bit. Aquinas specifically in the shotgun for most of the time. Play clock down to 8. Taking it himself, this time right up the gut, and not a lot of room there. A good defensive stand right up the front as the quarterback tried to keep it. It's going to bring up 2nd and 8 from the 30. Just over 10 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Aquinas leading 6-0 after a Zach Martinez touchdown run. Miege will try to answer here. Now about an I formation, bringing in the fullback, Luke Taylor, the fullback, still Quanzi Johnson, the tailback, going out of the power formation. Hands it off to Quanzi. He's going to be close, a couple yards short maybe of the first down. But that's Quanzi Johnson with a nice pickup, and he'll bring up a manageable 3rd down here. They'll call it 3 from the 25-yard line. Again, both teams ranked in the 8-10 varsity top 25. Both moved down a few spots after last week. Staying in the I formation is the quarterback, Cozart. Johnson, the tailback. Again, Luke Taylor, the fullback. Dropping back to pass, will quickly get it out and dropped. He got a man right at the sticks and already turning his head. It was Parmalee, who he hooked up 2 times earlier on the drive. It's going to bring up a 4th and 3 from the 25, and we'll see what they draw up here. with 9:01 here in the first quarter. So they'll stay on the field here. And they'll go empty backfield. And it's a little bit of confusion, though, for the wide receivers. That's quickly running the near side of the field is McKinley Johnson. 4 wide receivers on the near side. Quickly out to Parmalee. He's got some space across for the first down and more. And quickly out of the flat is Parmalee again. He's been open. So Montel Kozar picks up a crucial 4th down conversion. 4th and 3, and now up to the 14-yard line. And they keep their drive going as they try to answer what Aquinas was able to do on their first drive. 8:50 to go here in the first quarter. They'll stay in the shotgun formation, empty backfield. 4 wide receivers, on the near side. Out to Parmalee again in the flat. Spins off a tackler, now running towards the near side. And he'll get a couple of yards out of that. Nearly tackled in the backfield. Mixing that play, Michael Baska, the senior quarterback, was right there. They'll get a couple of yards on the play. 2nd and 9 from the 13 for Bishop Miege. It's Aquinas defense that held Blue Valley Northwest scoreless in the first half last week, but gave up 18 in the second half. Staying in that shotgun formation, empty backfield is Kozar. Quickly out in the flat again. This time he's got a different man and got another block. This is Timmy Mahoney. He'll get a couple of yards. That's Timmy Mahoney in the flat, a senior 6-foot wide receiver. So we've seen Miege work the flats multiple times on this drive, but this time it was Timmy Mahoney, and it's going to be a 3rd and 5 from the 9-yard line. With 7.5 to go on the first. A 6-0 lead for Aquinas. Shotgun formation, empty backfield. 4 wide receivers on the near side of the field for Miege. Overloading that near side of the field yet again. Quickly trying to pass, and it's deflected by Aquinas, and it falls in the back of the end zone. And it's going to bring up another 4th down for Miege. 4th and 5 this time. They went for it earlier on the drive. You'd think they would go for it again here as they're at the 9-yard line. They'll bring in some new personnel packages. So both offenses here early on in the game moving the football, but can Miege capitalize? 4th and 5 from the 9, out of the I formation. Quanzi Johnson, the tailback. They'll fake it to him, scrambling out to the left as the quarterback. Kozar quickly dumps it off to his man in the end zone. That's a touchdown. Bishop Miege answers with a touchdown of their own. Adam Novak, the senior halfback, the backup halfback, gets it off the pass from Kozart, and pinning the extra point, Miege could take the lead. So 2 4th down conversions for Miege gets them a touchdown on their opening drive. And Carter will come on for the extra point. And Timmy Mahoney to hold. Kick is up and good. So a 7-6 lead for Bishop Miege on top of Aquinas. Both teams scoring touchdowns on their opening drive. A10 Varsity Football brought to you by Mr. Goodson's. $5 footlong subs are back at Mr. Goodson's. 7 great subs to choose from. Come see what fresh really is at Mr. Goodson's. And by Nick and Jake's. Nick and Jake's, real food, honest drink. Nick and Jake's, the proud title sponsor of A10Varsity.com. Check out our promotions throughout the season on Facebook or on Twitter at Nick and Jake's. So both offenses moving the football well here. We're only 7 minutes in to the first quarter, and it's 7-6. And we mentioned that extra point could be costly for Aquinas, and right now it's the only reason why they trail. Carter will get set to kick off for Miege. Back deep, Clayton Henning and Nick Williams. And the kick is away from Carter. Henning will take it. Now hands it off over to Nick Williams. No, fakes it, keeps it up the middle, and he's out across. Gets hit hard right around the 25-yard line as they fake the reverse to Nick Williams, and Henning kept it himself. Going to get up right around the 25-yard line. So last drive, Aquinas had a 3rd and 13 after losing yards on the ground on a 2nd down play, but then Paul Height hooked up with Clayton Henning, which got them down the football field, and then again Zach Martinez punched it right at the middle for the touchdown. We'll go with 2 running backs out of the shotgun formation. Scherzer back there along with Zach Martinez. Fakes the handoff to Scherzer. Height keeps it himself and quickly surrounded by a host of Stags and gets about a yard on the play. And they're with a tackle for Miege, Ryan Sinkler, and I'll actually give him a good spot here. Make it 2nd and 8. Out of the pistol formation now is Height. Zach Martinez, the tailback. 2 wide receivers on the far near side Scherzer and Haas. Dropping back, looking near side, trying to get it possibly to Scherzer. Also there was Haas, ball behind him. It's going to bring up another 3rd down, 3rd and 8 for Aquinas. And so they'll try to draw something up again. They had another 3rd and long last time. So Miege defense so far has forced them into some 3rd and long situations, but can they hold this time? Out of the pistol formation is Height. 3 wide receivers on the near side. Haas, Scherzer, and Henning. Zach Martinez, the lone tailback. Dropping back is Height. Scrambling to the far side. Now looking up the middle. He's got Haas. Complete to Haas. And the pitting on the spot's going to be right at the sticks. And it looks like a 1st down. It is. 1st down, Neil Haas. And Aquinas, another 3rd down conversion. This time to Haas. Haas, a big target, a senior, 6'6", 158 pounds. 6:15 to go in the 1st quarter. Miege leading 7-6. Out of the pistol again is Height. Martinez stays in at tailback. Haas and Scherzer, the wide receivers on the near side. Quickly out to Scherzer in the flat. We'll get a couple of yards on the play. Austin Scherzer, the wide receiver. Rudy Estrada on the tackle, a 5'10 senior linebacker. So 2nd and 5 from the 43. And now they'll load up trips on the near side. Scherzer, Henning, and Haas. Zach Martinez, the tailback. Height pitches it out late to Martinez. Lucky with that pitch, but it's good for a 1st down. Zach Martinez. And 1st down. That's Zach Martinez. Of course, Luke Martinez, number 3, the senior, didn't play much last week and still not playing this week either. 5.5 to go. Out of the pistol. Dropping back is Height, under pressure, now dumps it out and to his tailback. Martinez, he's dragged down, breaks a tackle, and makes something out of nothing. It looked like he was going to be tackled for a loss, but it'll pick up about 2 or 3 yards. Second and 7, a little over 5 minutes to go. Aquinas driving down the field now, a couple of 1st downs. A 7-6 lead for the Stags. Out of the pistol again is Height. Fakes the handoff to Martinez, trying to quickly get it out to Henning, and luckily that one goes out of bounds as that was thrown well in front of him. A dangerous pass by Paul Height, and it brings up another 3rd down, a 3rd and 7. So we've seen them convert a couple of 3rd downs, 1 last drive on a big play, 2 on this play. Here we go, out of the pistol is Height. Haas, the wide receiver on the near side, quickly trying to get it over to Scherzer. He's got Scherzer, and that's Austin Scherzer for another 1st down for Aquinas. Right around the 42-yard line. So Paul Height making some big clutch throws on 3rd down so far tonight. Zach Martinez checking out of the game. Nick Williams now in at tailback for Aquinas. We saw him in a lot of action last week. In for Luke Martinez, and now he's in for Zach Martinez. Height now scrambling to the right. Pitches it out to Williams. Quickly surrounded by a host of Bishop Miege defenders. He'll lose a couple of yards. See, looks like 1 yard on the play. We'll spot him. Let's see where they'll spot him actually making a loss of 2 on the play. as they'll drop him back to the 43. A little over 4 minutes to go now in the first quarter. Miege leading 7-6. Out of the pistol is Height. Williams still in at tailback. Dropping back is Height, looking for his man. That's overthrown, looking for Vickers. Devin Vickers, the junior wide receiver, and a late hit on Paul Height. Paul Height got nailed at the end of that play, and a flag is down on the play, and I believe it's going to be possibly a late hit. We'll see what they call here, as Paul Height got hit pretty good after that throw. And it appears it's going to go against the Mustangs. Excuse me, the Stags. And it is going to be a roughing the passer on Bishop Miege. So a first down for Aquinas, as Height was trying to hook up with his man Vickers, overthrew him, but a late hit on Aquinas, a mental mistake there, and they'll move him all the way up to the 27-yard line. First and 10, just under 4 minutes to go. Again, this is 810 Varsity Football on 810varsity.com. Out of the pistol is Height. Williams stays in that tailback. 3 wide receivers on the near side of the field. Scherzer hitting. Dropping back is Height. Looking across the middle. He's got Scherzer down to the, still going. Let's see where they spot him. He's either down to the 1 in. They'll mark him in. Austin Scherzer with a touchdown. Paul Height. But there is a flag on the play. Let's see what this flag is, as there is a flag down as Paul Height. And it looks like it's going to go against Aquinas, and this one's going to come back. So Height right across the middle of the field, hooked up with Scherzer, but this one is coming back. It appears it's going to be on Aquinas. No. Wow. Surprising there. From initial signal decided, and they're going to wave off the flag. Aquinas catching a break there. And they were worried about possibly an illegal formation. They'll wave off the flag, and that's a touchdown for St. Thomas Aquinas. Paul Height hooking up with his receiver, Austin Scherzer. So Paul Height, a couple of big throws throughout this game, and that one goes for a touchdown. So Austin Scherzer, we saw him play running back quite a bit, but he's a wide receiver primarily, and he gets a touchdown as he caught it and then ran it in, broke a couple of tackles, and spun right in the end zone. Now Fogarty will come on for the extra point. The last one was blocked. Good snap, kick is up, and this time it goes through. So 13-7, St. Thomas Aquinas leads Bishop Miege. So both offenses clicking here early on. Both offenses coming up with some big 3rd and 4th down conversions. And Aquinas answers Bishop Miege. 3:48 to go here in the first quarter. And Alex Gold here with the call, along with videographer Stacy Smith. Beautiful weather here for football the last Friday in September. Both teams coming in at 3-1 overall. Both teams coming off of losses last week. Both tough losses. Again, Aquinas lost last week 18-14. Miege a 24-21 loss. And Brendan Knockbar will get set to kick off for Aquinas. And back deep for the Stags is Montel Cozart. Kick is back. It'll bounce in front of him. He'll decide to pick it up. Got a little bit of room near the 20. He'll be tackled just past the 20-yard line. A correction, that was McKinley Johnson on the return. So McKinley Johnson on the return and gets it right around the 23-yard line, and that's where the Stags of Bishop Miege will start their second drive offensively. Last drive, they scored on a 4th down. Quarterback Cozart hooking up with the fullback Adam Novak.
First and 10 from the 23-yard line.
So here we go. Cozart will drop back in the shotgun. They'll go empty backfield. We saw that a couple times on the last drive. They'll power and overload that far side of the field with 4 wide receivers. They'll dump it off in the flat again. Over to Parmalee, makes some move. He's got a good gain on the play. Still going. And he's going to get about 7 or 8 yards on the play. That's Trey Parmalee again, a quick pass in the flat. So 3:37 to go here in the first quarter. And we're going to get a timeout by St. Thomas Aquinas on that play. That's the first timeout for Aquinas. 13-7, and really you got to be impressed offensively and happy if you're Aquinas. Last week, the offense in the second half really struggled. Paul Height with a pair of interceptions. This week, so far at least, he has been clicking offensively again. On the first touchdown drive, if you're just joining in for Aquinas, it was Paul Height, a long completion to Clayton Henning, which set up a touchdown run by Zach Martinez. And again, for the Stags of Bishop Miege, it was a pass from the quarterback Cozart to the fullback Novak. A-10 varsity football brought to you by Nick and Jake's. Nick and Jake's, real food, honest drink. Nick and Jake's, the proud title sponsor of A10varsity.com. Check out our promotions throughout the season on Facebook or on Twitter at Nick and Jake's. And both teams now getting set to go back on the football field following the St. Thomas Aquinas timeout. And St. Thomas Aquinas defense gave up 18 points in the second half last week, but they were strong in the first half, and they look like it's going to be a high-scoring affair either way. Both of these powerful offenses. This time they'll stack and overload the near side of the field. 4 wide receivers. Empty backfield is Cozart. Out of the shotgun. Drops back, looking, and he's got, looks like it's Parmalee for a first down and more out across the 40-yard line. Right at the 40, that's Parmalee for a first down. Trey Parmalee, the senior, 5'11", and that's going to be his favorite target. So they'll have the ball at the 40 again. They'll overload that near side of the field. Empty backfield. The fullback Novak leading kind of that near side. Quickly out again to Parmalee. Got a gain of 5 or 6 on the play. So they continue to just overload that side, and it's setting up one-on-one matchups for Parmalee, which is exactly what Miege wants to do. So 2nd and 5 with 3:27 here left in the first quarter. Miege will stay in that same formation. Parmalee, the lone wide receiver on the far side. And quick going for Parmalee. He's got Parmalee. It's complete out across the 30. Breaks the tackle down to the 10, down to the 5, in for the touchdown. Trey Parmalee. They've been setting it up all drive, and this time they go over the top instead of a quick one. That's Trey Parmalee from Montel Cozart. And Miege answers. Both offenses clicking early on. 13-13, pinning the extra point. Miege could go up again. So 2 touchdown passes for Cozart on a 2nd and 5 play from the 45-yard line. And you knew this would be a fun one. Extra point is up and hits the post. No good. So both teams have missed extra points. That one wasn't blocked. That one just hit the crossbar. That was on the 13-13 now. So we have got a good one here in the first quarter. 3:16 to go in the first. Miege, number 13 in the A-10 varsity top 25. Aquinas, number 19. Dropping back a spot after last week's loss on homecoming, but a good crowd here tonight. They had over 3,000 in attendance last week, and I would guess they had right around that number again here tonight. A fantastic crowd, great environment, beautiful night here in Overland Park, Kansas. Again, Alex Gold here with the call, and our videographer, Stacy Smith. And Carter will get set to kick it off again for the Stags. Back deep for Aquinas is Clayton Henning. And on the far side of the field, Nick Williams. Nick Williams has a pair of kickoff returns for a touchdown this year, including back in week 1 against Great Bend. He returned one for over 90 yards. Kick is away to Henning, and this one's booming into the end zone, and they'll take it out at the 20-yard line. And Carter has got a lead. That's Colin Carter. That's the second touchback we've seen. So Aquinas will have the ball at the 20-yard line. And we've yet to see either defense really come up with some stops. We've seen a couple of fourth down situations, but teams have been able to convert. Last drive for the Stags, they had a roughing the passer penalty that kept the drive going for Aquinas. Out of the pistol formation is Paul Height. Zach Martinez, the tailback. 3 wide receivers on the near side, Haas, along with Williams and Henning. Dropping back is Height, dumps it off to Martinez in the flat, breaks off a tackle, nearing the first down marker now. Looks like he does. That's a first down. Zach Martinez off the pass from Paul Height. Right up to the 30-yard line, 31-yard line, and a first down from Height, and he's clicking with his receivers. That one, though, out to the tailback. Out of the pistol again. Height fakes a handoff to Martinez. Now out to Henning. So Clayton Henning picks up a couple of yards on the play. Gain of 4 on the play. 2nd and 6. And they'll call it 2nd and 7 from the 34. 2:30 to go in the first quarter. A lot of offense early on. 13-13. Out of the pistol is Height. Wide receivers on the near side is Scherzer. Hands it off to Martinez up the gut, and he's met right in the middle of that line of the Mustangs. Nick Shondell and Joey Fisher. And correction, Thomas Shamit, excuse me. Nick Shondo and Thomas Shamit. 2 seniors right in the heart of that defensive line. Gain of 1 on the play. They'll call it 3rd and 6 from the 35-yard line. Out of the pistol is Height, dropping back to pass. Under pressure now, rolling out now, still breaks away from some tacklers. Got a little bit of room in front of him to decide to keep it, and he's going to be well short of that first down marker. And the clock will stop here with 1:39 in the first quarter, and they'll bring on, looks like the kicking unit here, as Height decided to take it himself. He had a little bit of room in front of him. Try not to force anything, and they will punt the football. Clayton Henning will come on to punt. We saw Clayton and Aquinas do a fake their first punt attempt last week unsuccessfully, and then later in the game they were able to do that. 1:30, Henning, and he will punt this one. A line drive kick. It bounces at the 40, takes an Aquinas roll, still rolling down near the 25-yard line, and that's where it will stop and where the Stags of Miege will take over. So with 1:20 to go, it's 13-13 here in Overland Park, Kansas. And A10 Varsity Football brought to you by Mr. Goodsense. $5 footlong subs are back in Mr. Goodsense. 7 great subs to choose from. Come see what fresh really is at Mr. Goodsense. And we'll see the same formation from Miege. Parmalee, the lone wide receiver on the far side of the field. They'll overload the near side. This time it's Kozar decides to keep it himself. He's got a gain around 5 or 6 on the play. We'll see where they spot it. Kozar decides to keep it as they're really spreading out this Aquinas defense. Gain of 6 on the play as we just go under a minute here in the first quarter. 2nd and 4 from the 32-yard line. And most of the time we've seen them look in the flat here. And we'll see what they draw up on a 2nd and 4. Game knotted up 13-13. Kozart will keep it himself again. Trying the far side. Got a first down and more out across the 40-yard line. nice job offensively by the Stags of Bishop Miege. We've seen a couple of quick passes out in the flat to Parmalee, then they took one deep for a touchdown last time. And now mixing things up, and the quarterback 2 plays in a row, he's kept it himself. At the 41-yard line now is Cozart in that shotgun formation, empty backfield. 4 wide receivers on the near side of the field. Timmy Mahoney, one of them as well, as McKinley Johnson. Play clock down to 6, dropping back. Pump fakes, scrambling to the right now. Dumping off in the middle. He's got Quanzi Johnson for a first down and more into Aquinas territory. Quanzi Johnson, the tailback that time, was wide open on a little curl route. And another first down for Miege at the 33-yard line of Aquinas. And the clock now down to 20 seconds in the first quarter. This time they'll stack the far side of the field and Parmalee split out on the near side. Play clock down to 10, game clock about a second behind. They'll run it. Taking himself as a quarterback, Cozart. He's got some room. First down and more, down past the 20-yard line. As the quarterback kept it himself, and that'll end the first quarter. Tied at 13 apiece. A lot of offense here early on.
Brought down by Will McDonald.
And a nice play by the quarterback, Cozart. A10 Varsity Football brought to you by Air Associates. Have you always wanted to learn to fly? Has it been a lifelong dream? Now you can live the dream. Learning to fly with Air Associates can be one of the most exciting, rewarding, and challenging activities you'll ever experience. You'll have the most fun you've ever had. Their FAA-certified flight instructors will take you through every step, from first flight to solo to the freedom of your pilot's license and their modern Cessna aircraft. Their special flight packages will make your training even more affordable. Visit their website at takeoffkc.com. Hey, sports fans, thinking about buying or selling a home? If you are, I know about 6,000 agents who would like to charge you way too much, or you can call our friends over at Realty 1.5. If you want Red 7, hot route service and want to save thousands of dollars, give them a call at 913-302-7886. Again, 913-302-7886. So a great first quarter of football here at St. Thomas Aquinas High School, 13-13. Both teams in the EKL, both teams 3-1, both teams ranked, and the A10 varsity poll. Again, Aquinas football still, 1st and 10. Excuse me, take that back. Stag football, they're driving, 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line as they switch fields. And they'll power set and overload this near side. 4 wide receivers. Far side is Parmalee. Dropping back quickly out on the flat. Got a little bit of room in front of him is Mahoney. And a flag comes in late. And we'll see who this one goes on, as that was the wide receiver Timmy Mahoney off the quick pass from Cozart, but the flag down. We'll see what they call here. It was a late flag as the play was going down. They're going to get a holding call on the offense. And it might have been on one of the wide receivers there that were overloaded trying to get a block for Mahoney. And this time they will get called for holding. I'll back them up a couple of yards here. They'll back him up with 11:53 here in the second quarter. 1st and 20 at the 27-yard line. And now we'll get another stoppage to play here to try to figure things out. Timeout. Aquinas now off of the penalty. And that's the second timeout by St. Thomas Aquinas here tonight. They got 1 remaining. Miege still with all 3 timeouts. E10 Varsity Football brought to you by Factory Direct Appliance, by Factory Direct, and save at Factory Direct Appliance. Call 816-468-8344 or visit us at kcfda.com. So 13-13. A couple of touchdown passes by Montel Cozart, the junior quarterback for the Stags. And it's going to be a long first down when we return to action, a 1st and 20 after that holding penalty called against the Stags. We've seen a couple of penalties in this game by the Stags on the defensive side of the ball, or roughing the passer that kept an Aquinas drive going. Aquinas scored first back in the first quarter with a touchdown off a Zach Martinez run, but a blocked extra point made it 6-0. Miege fired back after a touchdown pass from Cozart to the fullback, Adam Novak. They converted. It was a 7-6 lead, and then both teams have since scored. And on the last touchdown for Miege, they missed the extra point as it went off the crossbar. That's how we're tied, 13-13 out of the shotgun formation. This time he does have a tailback. It's Johnson. The quarterback, Cozart, does keep it, though. He did have the option to pitch it to the tailback, Kwanzi Johnson, but Cozart keeps it. And nothing going. So 2nd down for the Stags. They'll give them 2 yards. So we'll see. This Aquinas defense can come up with a stop. We've yet to see either defense come up with any sort of stop. Parmalee, the wide receiver, split out. Only wide receiver on the far side of the field to go out of the power formation. Cozart now under center. The tailback is Johnson. Now in motion is Richard Smith, the wide receiver, lining up at tight end on the near side of the field. Fakes the handoff to the fullback, then hands it off to Johnson, who might have ran into his own man up front. It looked like Kwanzi Johnson ran into the tailback, Adam Novak, and a good defensive stop. That stopped defensively by the middle linebacker, Andrew Horn. And it's going to be 3rd and 20. They'll give him a loss on the play. 3rd and 20 from the 28-yard line with 10:35 to go here in the second quarter, 13-13. And Miege is going to need something here on a long 3rd down. They'll overstack the far side of the field. Lone wide receiver on the near side is Parmalee. Matched up with the cornerback Dylan Moran, dropping back and looking for Parmalee on the fade route is the Miege, and good coverage on the play. Brendan Knockbar back there and Dylan Moran on the coverage, and it's a 4th down and 20 now for Miege. Trying to isolate his man Trey Parmalee, but good coverage defensively. They had 2 corners back there. And offense still on the field. Initially the quarterback Cozart was running towards the sideline, but he's back out there now. 4th and 20 from the 28. They are going for it. They'll stack the far side of the field. Lone wide receiver on the near side is Parmalee. Empty backfield. 4th and 20. Both teams' defense have not made a stop. Aquinas trying to make one here. Dropping back to Packus Cozart. Now rolls out to the left. Is going to decide to run himself. And he's still, we'll see where they spot it, right around the 15. We'll see where they spot it, but short of the 1st down. And turnover on downs. Aquinas defense comes up with a huge stop, as both teams offensively have been rolling down the field, even on 4th down conversions. And finally we get a stop on the defensive side of the ball, and Aquinas has a chance to pull ahead. And they'll take over at the 15-yard line, as Andrew Horn had a couple of great plays defensively. And in, you look at that long 3rd down attempt, they were able to contain Parmalee, who hit him for a touchdown earlier. Dylan Moran and Knockbar, both with some big plays. So out of the pistol formation is the quarterback height. Zach Martinez, the tailback. Scherzer, the wide receiver on the near side. Now coming late in motion, Michael Baska, normally the cornerback. Height drops back. Quickly under pressure, finds trying to get to Vickers. Nearly intercepted, and we had a flag down on the play as well. McKinley Johnson, the safety on the coverage there, but a flag, and it looks like initial signal is going to go against Aquinas. But they're going to talk about it. We already saw them wave off a flag earlier on in the game. They very well could do that.
At the snap, we have only 6
A big
men on the line of scrimmage.
illegal formation on the offense. And a big fourth down stop again by Aquinas. And that got them the football here on a turnover and downs. But they'll be backed up here as a false start, or excuse me, illegal formation on Aquinas. Back to their 10-yard line now. Henning and Scherzer. No, Scherzer will stay in the backfield, hitting the wide receiver on the far side. Two tailbacks now, Zach Martinez and Scherzer, as Height goes out of the shotgun. Dropping back to pass. Scrambling under pressure now. Gets the ball away and finds his man, Zach Martinez, out across the 20, near the 30 and down, right around the 34-yard line. Zach Martinez, the tailback. How about that? A dangerous pass, but turned out to work well as Paul Height dumps it off to the tailback. And Martinez did not play last week. And a first down on a 1st and 15 from the 10-yard line. And they'll spot it at the 34. And we'll get a stoppage here as a Miege player having problems with his helmet. That's Trey Parmalee, lost his helmet. Parmalee, of course, the wide receiver, also plays defense. So a huge run by Zach Martinez for a pass off of a nice run and catch off of Paul Height. 30-yard completion. Same formation here for Aquinas. This time they'll hand it off to Scherzer. Breaks off some tackles and couldn't get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe lose a yard. If he's lucky, he got back to the line of scrimmage. And good defensive pressure. Back in the backfield was Adam Novak, the defensive end. Under 10 minutes to go here in the second quarter. All knotted up 13 apiece. Out of the pistol now is the quarterback Height. Nick Williams checks in at tailback. Two wide receivers on the far end, near side of the field. Dropping back his Height, looked in the flat. He'll dump it off to Williams and deflected. That's Adam Novak, the defensive end. So Novak with a couple of nice plays. That's 2 in a row. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 10 from the 35 for Aquinas. .908 to go in this first half. Going to go with an empty backfield now. And again, Michael Baska in at wide receiver, not normally out there at the wide receiver position. 3 wide receivers on the far side. Trying to draw him off. Height drops back to pass. Now under pressure again. And not turning it around was Baska, and luckily that one falls innocently. Baska did not get his head turned around. Quanzi Johnson on the coverage, but we do have a flag down as well. And they're lucky that one wasn't picked off. And we'll see who this penalty is against. It was on a 3rd and 10. We'll see where this flag will go.
During the play, we have an
Going to be a chop block on Aquinas. And that's going to drop him back a couple of yards here. We'll see exactly where they decide to do here. Looking at the sideline for the decision. That was an incomplete pass on a 3rd and 10. So they may just. We'll hear what the ref has to say here. Yeah, they declined it to bring up a 4th down. It was going to be interesting if they would have backed him up, but they didn't want to give him another shot on 3rd down. So 4th and 10 from the 35. And Clayton Henning in the punt unit will come on for Aquinas.
4th and 10 from the 35 for the Saints.
McKinley Johnson back deep for Miege. High snap. Henning controls it. Get the kickoff. And taken right around the 30-yard line and doesn't get anything. Great coverage. That's Michael Baska with the tackle on the special teams play. And there was no room for McKinley Johnson. And Michael Baska with a nice play there on the special teams, and they'll have the ball at the 27. Tied up still 13 apiece. 8-10 varsity football brought to you by Nick and Jake's. Nick and Jake's, real food, honest drink. Nick and Jake's, the proud title sponsor of 810varsity.com. located in Parkville, in the Parkville Commons, and in Overland Park on 135th Street, or visit us online at nickandjakes.com. 8:55 to go here in the second quarter, 13 apiece. Miege football at their own 27-yard line. We're out of the I formation now. Pitching out to the far near side. That's Quasi Johnson eating up in the backfield. Good job defensively. John Cosentino. Quasi Johnson loses 2 yards. John Cosentino and Henry Krause also in the mix, the linebackers. So second 12 from the 25. They try to go with the power formation and pound it to the right side of that line. But Aquinas was all over it. And now they'll spread out Aquinas again, overloading the far side of the field with 4 wide receivers again, Parmalee. Wide receiver on the near side. This time they switch it, actually. Quickly out, dumps it off Parmalee. And they'll lose a couple yards on the play. Good defensive awareness now containing Parmalee. That time they actually had McKinley Johnson split out by himself on the near side, and they hid Parmalee over there in the crowd of wide receivers. And they'll lose a couple yards. It's making up a long third down now for Miege. 3rd and 16 from the 21-yard line. Let's see now. They're going to try to reset the play clock. And it does, the 25. 7:44 to go here in the second quarter. 13-13. A long 3rd and 16 now for Kozar and the Mustangs. The Stags. And trying to find his man. Oh, and falling is Mahoney. He actually had him. I think he might have been a little short of a first down. But Timmy Mahoney and the Stags will have to punt the football. So 4th and 16. Brendan Knockbar and Clayton Henning back deep for Aquinas. The Aquinas defense, 2 possessions in a row. They've come up with some nice stops defensively. Can their offense give them a little break? Punt is away. Henning getting under it. Signals for fair catch. Bobbles it, and he can't run with it. And he luckily retains possession of that as he bobbled it there. Fair catch. Good field position for Saints. And the Saints will have the ball at the 43 when we return to action. A high-scoring first quarter, 13-13. No scoring so far here in the second quarter. Again, Alex Gold here with the call, along with our videographer, Stacy Smith. And so Paul Height and this Aquinas offense will try to get something going here in the second quarter. A chance they've gotten some stops from their defense. Need to help them out now. They'll go in the pistol formation. Nick Williams, the tailback. Dropping back to pass his Height. Pump fakes. Now looking for his man, Henning. And it's going to be intercepted if they rule. No, they're going to say he did not get his feet and retain possession. A dangerous pass by Height, trying to get it to his wide receiver, Henning.
Johnson on the coverage for Miege. Out of bounds.
And Quasi Johnson, the cornerback, just out of bounds. And Aquinas catches a little break there. 2nd and 10 from the 43. Out of the shotgun formation is Height. 2 wide receivers on the near side of the field. And miscommunication again, trying to quickly throw it out to Clayton Henning. And then 2 plays in a row where Paul Height's had a couple of bad passes. So 3rd and 10 from the 43 now. The sideline looks, players look towards the sideline. Aquinas with 1 timeout remaining here. Miege with all 3. Haas, the lone wide receiver on the near side of the field. 3 wide on the far side. Scherzer, along with Henning and Vickers. The tailback is Williams. Height dropping back to pass. Has some time now, flushed out of the pocket, trying to get ready. He's under pressure, and he's going to be dragged down for a sack. He got away from a couple but couldn't get away. Again, that's the man, Adam Novak. He's been in the mix all night long. So Adam Novak gets a sack, and now here in the second quarter, we've seen the defense is coming up with a couple of stops after the offense controlled the first quarter. 6:48 to go here in the second quarter, 13-13, and Aquinas is going to have to punt 3 and out. Heading back to punt. McKinley Johnson back deep for the Stags. Punting it away. High punt. Looking like he's going to let it bounce, and it takes an Aquinas pass. Now he decides to pick it up dangerously, evades a couple of tackles, and nothing going on there. He's wrapped up by number 34, Jordan Kalovich, as McKinley Johnson let it bounce and then decided to pick it up off the bounce. And Miege will have the ball at the 25-yard line. So both defenses have been impressive here in the second half, finally shortening up things just a little bit. Empty backfield again for the Stags. 3 wide receivers on the near side of the field, 1, 2 on the far side. Cozart drops back to sides to keep it himself, then looks for the pass again. This time he will dump it off, and a dangerous pass and intercepted by Clayton Henning. Henning coming up with the interception. Aquinas will take over. Cozart thought about running, then decided to throw the football. And Clayton Henning jumped up and leaped up for that one. And a big turnover for Aquinas. And they'll take the football, and maybe that gets their offense rolling again. They'll have the ball at the 36-yard line with a great opportunity to go ahead. Henning, the senior, predominantly wide receiver, but also plays strong safety and comes with a huge play with 6:12 to go in the second quarter. He'll stay out there now, a wide receiver on the near side of the field along with Vickers. We'll see somewhat of a little wishbone knock bar in there along with Zach Martinez. Hands it out to Martinez up the middle for a couple of yards on first down. Positive yardage for Zach Martinez.
Martinez with the carry for the Saints.
2nd and 7 from the 33-yard line. .540 to go. High audible in here, 8 seconds on the play clock. Out of the pistol, Zach Martinez, the tailback. Rolling out to the right as High decides to throw. Looking for Vickers, he's got him and overthrows him. Vickers had his man beat working against Quanzi Johnson and overthrown. And Aquinas had a great opportunity there as Vickers got past his man. So that'll bring up a 3rd and 7. So taking a shot there on 2nd down. And he'll need a crucial 3rd down, and it could be a big stop for this Miege defense. 2 wide receivers on the far side. It's Scherzer and Haas. Near side is Henning and Vickers. Tailback is Martinez. Height now rolls out, now steps up in the pocket, throws one up, tipped around, and it looks like this might have been caught. That's Haas. The 6'6" wide receiver comes up with a catch off the tip. It was deflected, and in the right place at the right time was Neil Haas. They'll take whatever they can get. A 1st down for Aquinas off the batted ball. 1st and 10 from the 19. Height hands it off to Martinez up the gut. About 3 yards on the play.
Martinez with the carry. Gain of 2 on the play, 2nd down and 8.
Under 5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Knotted up 13 apiece. All the scoring in the first quarter. Out of the pistol formation now is Height. Martinez, the lone tailback. 3 wide receivers on the near side. Hands it off to Martinez. Up the gut. He got a little bit of room. It's going to bring up a 3rd down. And 3rd and 7 now for Aquinas. And they'll spot it actually at the 15 and say he got 2 yards. So 3rd and 6. 2 wide receivers on the near side for Height and Aquinas. 2 tailbacks back there, Scherzer and Martinez. Fakes the handoff now, rolling out to the right, dumping it off, trying to get to Henning, and he got a hand on it and nearly hauled it in, and it falls incomplete. It's going to bring up a 4th down as Height rolled out to his right and nearly got it to his man Henning. And the kicker will come on. That's Declan Fogarty. And try to regain the lead for Aquinas.
Fogarty on to attempt the field goal.
Running on the field late is Zach Martinez. The holder is Paul Height on about a 32-yard attempt for Aquinas. Good hold by Height. The kick is up. And the kick is good. Aquinas takes the lead off a field goal from Fogarty. So they get on the board and regain the lead. 16-13 now, Aquinas. And a good one it has been between these 2 crosstown rivals. An EKL matchup, though. Both teams 3-1, both coming off of losses. A great crowd on hand. A field goal for 32 yards by Aquinas' kicker, Fogarty. So the defense have kind of stiffened up a little bit, but Aquinas off the interception by Clayton Henning. Kozar was trying to roll out and throw it, and it was picked off by Henning, which set up that field goal for Aquinas. So Aquinas will kick off and back deep for the Stags. McKinley Johnson. And we'll get set for kickoff here. .356 to go as the kick is away. Johnson will take it. Going on the right side, heading towards the sideline. We'll meet a couple of defenders there. And out across. The 20, we'll see, around the 22, 23-yard line. So they'll have 3:50, all 3 timeouts, trailing by 3 here in the first half. A10 Varsity Football. Follow A10 Varsity on Facebook and Twitter. The rest of the season, we'll choose a weekly winner for $50 gift certificates to Best Buy, Nick and Jake's, and more. Follow A10 Varsity on Facebook and Twitter today. Dropping back to passes, Kozar quickly gets it out to his man. That's McKinley Johnson. Ball on the ground, and it's covered by Aquinas. Quickly, it was Kozar out to Johnson. McKinley, and he fumbles the football, and it's recovered by Aquinas. That's 2 turnovers in a row forced by Aquinas. So 2 big mistakes by the Stags. And Henry Kraus comes up with the recovery, the senior linebacker. So a rough night so far for McKinley Johnson. Earlier in the game, he dropped a relatively easy first down pass. And now fumbles it now. 2 turnovers in a row for the Stag offense. And Paul Height in the Aquinas offense has a chance to pull ahead by more here, already leading by 3 out of the pistol formation. Martinez, the lone tailback, 3 wide receivers on the near side. Scherzer, Henning, and Vickers. Handing it off to Martinez. Got a little bit of room in front of him. Out across to the 25-yard line. And they'll spot it right at that 25-yard line. Clock rolls. 2nd and 5. And this Stag defense now all of a sudden has been on the field quite a bit here in the second quarter. Haas, the lone wide receiver on the far side now. So they'll have two tailbacks, Scherzer and Martinez. Hand it off to Martinez, up the middle again. Brass off a couple tacklers, trips, but still gets the first down. That's the running back, Zach Martinez. Under 3 minutes to go now. Gain of 15 yards. Down to the 15, excuse me. So again, a fumble by the Stags wide receiver, setting up this drive. McKinley Johnson fumbled. And now Aquinas is threatening. Scherzer stays in the backfield along with Martinez. They'll hand it off to Scherzer. No, fakes it, high keeps it, now pitches it to Martinez, and he slips. He might have had a little bit of room, but he slipped right in that turf. Luckily, he's able to get up after that. It looked like a tough cut. That's 2nd and 8 now from the 13-yard line with a little over 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Aquinas leading 16-13 over the Stags of Bishop Miege. Haas, the wide receiver on the far side. Zach Martinez and Scherzer. They'll hand it off to Scherzer, trying to get outside, and he stakes on his feet a little bit and makes a couple of yards out of it. Looked like he was going to fall down, but able to keep his footing. And Scherzer gets him closer here. They make up a 3rd down, though. And now we're going to get a timeout by, looks like the Stags might call a timeout to save some time. Yeah, Bishop Miege will burn their first timeout. So again, this Aquinas defense putting their offense in good shape. They had an interception earlier in this most recent one, a fumble by the Miege wide receiver, McKinley Johnson, which has set up this drive for Aquinas. Again, Alex Gold here with the call, along with videographer Stacy Smith. It was tied up 13 apiece at the end of the first quarter, and 3 points so far scored by Aquinas. The field goal on the last drive after an interception by Clayton Henning. And now Aquinas looking to capitalize off a fumble. Number 13 in the 8-10 varsity poll is Miege this week. Aquinas dropped back a spot to number 19. Both teams, again, coming off a loss last week. Aquinas, a tough one they led 14-0 at one point, and they ended up losing 18-14. Both teams now back on the field. 3rd and 5 from the 10-yard line. Out of the pistol is Height. Zach Martinez, the lone tailback. Height dropping back, flush out of the pocket, dumps it off to Martinez, stays in bounds, but he's going to be short of the first down as he couldn't continue his momentum inbounds as he got pushed out of bounds. Now they're going to bring on the field goal unit again. Here comes Fogarty. He'll try to put him up by 6. The clock does stop, though, with 1:44 to go here in the second quarter. Another field goal attempt. This one shorter than the last one, but off towards the right hash. And now a timeout by Aquinas. Paul Height, the holder, decides to call a timeout. And we'll see if they decide now when they come back out to still kick the field or not. Obviously, a field goal would put you up by 6. But the way, at least you saw the scoring in the first quarter, it settled down here in the second, but the way the scoring was going in the first, and field goal may not get the job done. So we'll see what they decide to do here. That's the final timeout for St. Thomas Aquinas. 8-10 varsity football brought to you by Factory Direct Appliance. By Factory Direct and save at Factory Direct Appliance. Call 816-468-8344 or visit us at kcfda.com. The This is the start of a tough stretch on the schedule for Aquinas, and it starts tonight with Miege. But it doesn't get any easier. They hit a tough stretch. They go to Webb City next week and then take on Blue Valley. So a big game here for Aquinas. Big game also for Miege. And now the offense will come out for Aquinas. They'll decide to go for it. Initially, they brought out the kick unit. Height. Tries to keep it himself, rolling out. And I think he's going to be short depending on where they spot it. Let's see where they spot this football. The Miege defense signaling that he was short, and based off the spot, it would appear that he is short. Turnover on down, so they elect to go for it instead of kicking the field goal. It was a 4th down, and they decided to go for it instead of kicking the field goal with 1:37 to go. So now Miege with the football trailing by 3 from their own 6-yard line with 2 timeouts. As Aquinas had the opportunity to go up by 6, and they tried to get a couple more. And the quarterback Height rolled out to the right and came up short. And so a nice defensive stand by the Stags. Plenty of time for Miege. 2 wide receivers on the far and near side of the field. Parmerly on the near side, along with McKinley Johnson. Dropping back is Kozar. Got plenty of time, now under pressure, and this flicks this one and gets rid of it. And some fans and the sideline yelling for intentional grounding. He was under pressure, but he was definitely in the pocket. And now the refs are going to meet and decide on this if it was indeed intentional grounding. And there goes the flag, and the fans stand up for that. An intentional grounding call on the quarterback, Kozar. He was in the end zone and just threw that one and not near anybody. The nearest player on either team was a linebacker, John Costantino. And the intentional grounding occurred in the end zone, so a safety, a huge play there. Intentional grounding called on Miege. An intentional grounding call in the end zone, which results in a safety. Aquinas will get the football and 2 points. 18-13 lead now for Aquinas. A huge turn of events there and a huge mistake by the quarterback, Kozart. And now if you're Aquinas, you've got a chance to really push this one up past a 2-possession game possibly. And some life here towards the end of the first half. In Overland Park, Kansas at St. Thomas Aquinas High School. The crowd into it. Haven't heard it much tonight. But they like that call, and that's one of the rules. Intentional grounding, the worst thing you can do is get called for it in your own end zone. And that's unfortunately exactly what happened for Bishop Miege. They trail by 5, and they'll have to punt it to Aquinas. Back deep, Clayton Henning and the dangerous Nick Williams. Speedy guy. They've done a good job of keeping the ball away from him on kickoffs. But it might be a little bit harder to do here. 1:29 to go. Again, Aquinas with no timeouts, however. And they'll kick it away. And Henning will pick it up off the bounds. Now hands it off to Williams. Again, he's a quick guy. Get past the 40-yard line. He'll take it right around the 43. And a possible face mask. And they will say there was none. So Nick Williams takes the Colin Carter kick right around the 42-yard line. 122. And Aquinas, great field position now, set up after that safety due to the penalty. So the offense for Aquinas has a short field, but no timeouts. They'll have to work quickly, probably through the air. Zach Martinez, however, is the tailback as Height goes out of the pistol formation. Vickers and Henning, the wide receivers on the near side. Scherzer and Haas on the far side. Rolling out to the right as the quarterback Height quickly dumps it off to Martinez, and it falls incomplete. He was under heavy pressure. That was coming through. Brad Ivy, the sophomore middle linebacker, was coming right in the face of Height. Second and 10 now from the 42. with 1:19 to go. Empty backfield now for Height. 3 wide receivers on the far side. Martinez, one of them, stepping up in the pocket, getting it over to Henning. Is Height at the 50, stays in bounds, still moving near the first down marker, but the clock will continue to roll as he stayed in bounds. And it'll stop here momentarily as they reset the ball. And they'll decide here if it's enough for a first down. That clock stop, a chance though for both teams to reset. Haven't called for a measurement yet. They're going to say he's just short, a 3rd and short from the 48-yard line. The clock now will start to roll as the referee resets it. Martinez, the tailback, out of the shotgun, is Height. Dropping back, trying to fire it into Vickers. It's deflected. Right over the back was the cornerback, Quanzi Johnson. A late flag comes through. Johnson might have been on the back of the wide receiver Vickers, and that appears to be the call. It's going to be a first down for Aquinas, and it'll stop the clock as well. 58 seconds.
On the play, we have defensive pass interference. 15 yards, automatic first down.
So Paul Height threw it right in there, giving his man Vickers, the junior 6'1 wide receiver, a chance, and on the back of him was the cornerback, Quanzi Johnson. First down and into Stag territory now. And the biggest thing also is it stops the clock, and when they reset it, they'll have plenty of time as they'll already be set. They are at the 33 of the Stags. Clock now begins to roll. Out of the pistol formation is Hyde. Tailback is Martinez. 2 wide receivers on the near side, Vickers and Henning. Scrambling out to the right is Height, throwing this one up high to Vickers. Nearly comes down with the catch, but it falls incomplete. On the coverage of the play was Cole Pickard, the middle linebacker. 2nd and 10 with 47 seconds to go here from the 33-yard line. Aquinas leading 18-13. No timeouts remaining. 2 timeouts for Miege. Two tailbacks for Height. Martinez and Scherzer. 1 wide receiver on the far side of the field. It's Haas. Low snap. Fakes the handoff to Martinez. Rolling out to the right. Throwing this one up. Looking for Vickers. Off his fingertips. And it falls incomplete.
That's again intended for Devin Vickers. Goes incomplete.
He had Vickers there and just off his fingertips. And it brings up a 3rd down from the 33 with 41 seconds to go. We'll see what they dial up here. And the Stags could use a huge stop here as their offense has come up with a couple of mistakes. 2 turnovers has put Aquinas in the lead. Aquinas trying to get more before the half. Aquinas started with the football. Coming in now at wide receiver is Baska. He'll split out trips to the far side along with Scherzer and Haas. Dropping back his Height. Rolling out to the left under pressure. Escapes it. Rolling out to the right now. Decides to throw one up in the back of the end zone, and it's picked off. The ball is intercepted. Height is going to be picked off on a 3rd down. Trey Parmalee, the free safety. So we'll also get a flag as well. But it appears to be against Aquinas as Height was rolling out to the right. And, yeah. Aquinas went. Illegal forward pass going to be the call on Aquinas. And it was intercepted, so the loss of down won't matter either way. And so now they'll decide to decline it. So correction from the referee here, a little miscommunication, initially showing that the Stags accepted the penalty, but they didn't need to do that as the ball was picked off. So they declined that penalty, as Height did go across the line of scrimmage, though. So the Stags will have the football at the 20-yard line following the interception with 32 seconds to go and 2 timeouts, trailing by 5. And 8-10 varsity football you're listening to. St. Thomas Aquinas and Bishop Miege, an EKL showdown. Alex Gold here with the call, along with videographer Stacy Smith. We thank you for tuning in this evening. It's been a fun, exciting game so far, and we'll see if the Stags can do anything here before the half in. Empty backfield, they'll overload the far side of the field. The quarterback, Kozar, decides to take it himself. Not much going on, and it appears they'll run out the clock, as they will get the football at the start of the second half, and that's definitely what it appears to be, as they're going to go ahead and walk off the field and head to halftime. And Aquinas is going to have a 5-point lead as the crowd comes to their feet, happy with the way things went in the first half. 18-13 lead, and a lot of that due to turnovers towards the end for the Stags offense. An interception and a fumble led to a field goal and a safety. And so it end 18-13. We'll take a quick break during the half. We'll be back for second half action. Aquinas leading Miege 18-13.
7.
Welcome back in here for second half action of St. Thomas Aquinas and the Bishop Miege Stags. Aquinas leading 18-13 at the half. And again, Miege with 216 yards of total offense in the first half. Aquinas with 225 yards. Both teams mainly getting the job done through the air. Miege 52 yards rushing and Aquinas 31 yards rushing. Aquinas received to start the game, and it's going to be Bishop Miege to start the second half. Will receive the kick from Aquinas. And the game was tied up 13-13 for those who's joining us at the end of the first quarter. And a couple of turnovers costly at the end of the first half for the Stags. A couple of turnovers at the end of the first half. And getting ready to get going here. Alex Gold here again with our videographer Stacy Smith. And we're about ready to get set to go here. And the kick is away. So there we go. Shorter kick. Cutting all the way across the field now. Trying to get back to the 20 and unable to do so. And that's where they'll begin. Darren George on the return for the Stags. (18-13). We thank you for tuning in here. We'll have the ball at the 24-yard line. Out comes the quarterback, Montel Cozart again. We'll try to get things going offensively a little bit better. A couple turnovers the last time he's been out on the field. Also a crucial mistake, intentional grounding in the end zone, which resulted in a safety. And Aquinas was able to get 2 more points. And now a little bit of confusing. A player coming on late. Play clock down to 12. Everything now kind of getting sorted out. They'll go out with a power formation. Tailback is still Quanzi Johnson. Dropping back, trying to get out to Parmalee. He's able to do so out across the 30, nearing the first down marker, and stretches it across. We'll see where they spot it. And a first down for the Stags. That's Trey Parmalee. We saw them early on in the game really work the flats, and they start the second half doing the same thing as a first down for the Miege Stags to start the second half. And now they'll have the same formation here. Parmalee, the wide receiver on the far side. McKinley Johnson, the wide receiver on the near side of the field. Under center is the quarterback, Cozart. Drops back to pass again. Pump fakes now rolling out to the left, looking for Parmalee. And this one thrown out of bounds. Good coverage on the play. Brendan Knockbar on the coverage as they flush the quarterback out. And so nice coverage by the senior Knockbar. So 2nd and 10 from the 34. Again, both teams ranked in the A-10 varsity top 25. Miege coming in at number 13 and Aquinas number 19. Now they'll overload, again, the near side of the field. We saw it multiple times in the first half. And they'll isolate Parmalee on the far side. Play clock down to 5. Getting it away, and the quarterback quickly over to Parmalee. Across the first down marker, nearing the 50-yard line. Spins. He'll be spotted right around the 49. Continuing to work the ball, the senior wide receiver, Parmalee. I mentioned Parmalee is one of the favorite targets, one of the better wide receivers in the EKL, if not the best. But a first down for the Stags right near midfield. Overload again. Dropping back, rolling out to the right. Now's the quarterback Kozart looking in the middle of the field. And this one incomplete, looking for the halfback Quanzi Johnson. And also Adam Novak there as well. Novak slipped and also was thrown underneath. So 2nd and 10 from the 49 now for Miege. Aquinas ran 44 plays offensively in the first half compared to only 22 of Miege. Same formation here, empty backfield. Parmalee isolated on the far side. Dropping back to pass is Kozart. Throwing this one up, and he's got a man at the 30 and complete to McKinley Johnson. The sophomore wide receiver. And a first down for the Stags. So Kozart airs it out this time to the opposite side of the field. All the way down to the 28-yard line, and the offense of the Stags looking much like the way they started the game. Overloading now the far side of the field. And that's giving some headaches for this defense of Aquinas. Dropping back, looking quickly out, trying to set up the wide receiver screen there flat. It's Mahoney. Mahoney's got a first down. That's Timmy Mahoney, a senior wide receiver. Kozar hits him in the flat. Just over 11 minutes here to go in the third quarter. An 18-13 lead for Aquinas. Both teams come in at 3-1 overall, both off of losses. Aquinas last week losing at home on homecoming night to Blue Valley Northwest, who was previously unranked, now ranked number 18. Hands it off to Johnson up the middle. He's got a little bit of room there. Solid gain on first down for Quanzi Johnson, a 5'9", small guy, 161-pound senior tailback.
Carried by Johnson on the play. Picking up about 5, 2nd down and 5.
So 2nd and 5 as he gets 5 on first down. As a nice solid drive to start the second half for the Stags. A lot better drive than they had the last two. Hands it off to Johnson. Avoids a tackler, nearly stopped in the backfield. Getting in there for the defense. Andrew Horn was back there, but Johnson able to get by him and turns what would have been a couple-yard loss into keeping it in a manageable third down situation. Quanzi Johnson, no gain. Could have lost a couple, so good effort there as we're just over 10 minutes left here in the third. A big third down here. Aquinas is giving up some yards here, but will they break? Under 10 to go. Empty backfield. 3rd and 5 from the Aquinas 13-yard line. Is Miege. Kozart drops back to pass here. Looking for the quick slant to his wide receiver, and it's complete for a first down close to the 5-yard line. We'll see where they spot it. That's Parmalee again. First down, 1st and goal now. They'll spot it right around the 5. 1st and goal. And they'll spot it actually at the 4-yard line. .9:30 to go here in the third quarter. Kozart, the quarterback, fakes it quickly, keeps it himself up the middle. And met by the front of that defensive line, led by Eric Mason, Mason Berhinke. And 2nd and goal from the 3-yard line. A long drive that began back in their own territory to start the second half. Second and 3. 2nd and goal from the 3. Play clock down to 2. Kozart dropping back to pass. Now rolling out to the right. Throws one up in the back of the end zone. Oh, and nearly hauled in. But off the fingertips, that was McKinley Johnson. Also had another man there, Mahoney, but Johnson got his fingertips on it. It couldn't haul it in. So 3rd and goal now from the 3-yard line. Just underway here in the second half. An 18-13 lead for Aquinas over Miege. But Miege threatening. Out of the I formation now is Kozar. The tailback is Johnson. Fakes it to him, rolling out to the left. Just throws this one up in the end zone. Dangerous. And this one's going to be incomplete. Everybody paused there for a second. It looked like it might have been almost intercepted. It falls incomplete. And 4th and goal now. We'll see what the Stags do on a 4th and goal from the 3-yard line on the opening drive of the second half. And they're going to go for it here from the 3-yard line. A huge play here, a huge drive as the crowd comes to their feet here in Overland Park, Kansas on a 4th and 3 to start the second half. Miege out of I formation. Dropping back is Kozar, rolling out under pressure by Horn, looking for a man in the back of the end zone, and he's got it complete to Novak. Horn providing the pressure, but it's good for a touchdown as Kozart hooks up with the halfback Adam Novak. The 2nd touchdown for Novak today. And Miege regains the lead, 19-18 with an extra point still to go. Kozart to Adam Novak on a 4th and goal from the 3-yard line to open the second half. 8:32. So a quick score on the first drive. Extra point is up. And good. So it's 20-18 now, Miege. So a start very similar to the first half, where both teams offensively were moving the ball. We'll see if Aquinas can keep that trend going, but Miege with a nice drive to start the second half. And that offense looked a lot more in sync than they did the last couple of drives. As a 4th and goal from the 3-yard line. And a nice solid drive. That's the way you want to come out to start if you are the Miege offense. Again, Alex Gold here, along with videographer Stacy Smith. 810 Varsity Football brought to you by Mr. Good Sense. Ordering Good Sense is now quick and easy with Good Sense online ordering. Just log on to MrGoodSense.com and place your order today. And we thank all of you for tuning in to this broadcast on 810varsity.com. Follow both these teams on 810 Varsity throughout the season. And here's the kick by Carter. Back deep is Henning and Williams, and Henning's going to step back all the way to the end zone, and it's in the end zone, so it's a touchback, and they'll begin from the 20-yard line. That offense of Aquinas will get their first shot of the second half. The last couple positions for Aquinas. The last drive ended in a failed 4th down conversion. The previous drive, after an interception, resulted in a 32-yard field goal. So Paul Height and his offense now comes back onto the field. Zach Martinez, the tailback, as they go out of the pistol formation. Henning, Haas, and Williams on the near side now. Williams goes in motion to the far side of the field to go with Scherzer. Low snap, hands it off to Martinez. Pounding forward, he maybe gets 2 yards, 3 yards on the play.
Zach Martinez with the carry.
So they'll give him 3 yards. 2nd and 7 from the 23. As Aquinas looks to answer the Miege drive. Henning, Williams, and Haas, the wide receivers on the near side. Zach Martinez, the tailback. Low snap again for Height. Dumps it off to Martinez. He's going to have to make a move. Goes right through and up for a couple of yards. He took on the middle linebacker there that was covering the flat that time, as Timmy Mahoney was out there. Martinez gets a couple of yards. 3rd and 5 from the 27. 7:25 to go in the third quarter. Miege now with the lead, 20-18, Aquinas football, as they'll go trips to the far side of the field. Williams, Henning, and Scherzer. Pistol formation, Martinez the tailback. Haas, wide receiver on the near side, dropping back his height, stepping up in the pocket, and trying to hit up his man, Nick Williams. Right there is the linebacker defending that play. Rudy Estrada, the senior 5'10", middle linebacker, was right all over Nick Williams. So 4th and 5, and Aquinas is going to have to punt him back deep for Miege. It's going to be McKinley Johnson and Trey Parmalee. So Aquinas unable to answer the Miege touchdown. Knockbar to punt. Kick is away. Decent kick. Kai running up to get it. No fair catch and a dangerous. Luckily to hold on that. He had to go low to the ground to get that was Parmalee. And they'll begin in decent field position all the way up past the 40-yard line. And they'll spot it right around the 42.
Covered by Jordan Calvis for the Saints. The Stags ball, 1st and 10. The 42-yard line.
So just over 7 minutes to go here in the third quarter. 810 Varsity Football brought to you by the Kansas City Command, powering the 810varsity.com Top 25. Season tickets for the 2012 Arena Football League season at Sprint Center are on sale now. Call 855-KC-ARENA. So Miege, his offense back on the field after a nice defensive stop. They had a touchdown on their last drive. Cozart with the tailback Novak. They'll try to replicate that drive. They'll go out of the I formation again. Parmalee, the wide receiver on the far side of the field. Near side is McKinley Johnson. Driving back, and they'll hand it off now up the gut. A couple of yards, still pushing forward. And now all of a sudden, as he was dragged down, but he gets a couple of yards there. That was Novak, a little bit bigger back. We mentioned he had a touchdown on the last drive. A 6'2", 192-pound senior tailback. Trying to get the running game more involved here in the second half. 6:30 to go in the third quarter. 2nd and 8 from the 44-yard line. This time they'll go kind of out of a wing set. Under center will be Cozart. Parmalee split out to the wide on the far side. Johnson on the near side. Hands it off to Johnson. Shakes a few guys, and finally dragged down a nice tackle. That was John Cosentino, the 5'8" senior linebacker. So it's going to bring up a 3rd down. 3rd and 6 from the 46-yard line. And this Aquinas defense could use a huge stop after giving up a touchdown on the first possession of the second half, and their offense unable to get anything going on their first drive. Cozart will stay under center. Same formation throughout the drive. Johnson, the tailback, Parmalee and Johnson dropping back, looking up the middle, low throw, and pops out. Trying to get to Novak. It would have been enough for a 1st down, but low and incomplete, and it's going to bring up a 4th down now for Miege. And on comes the punt unit. And back deep for Aquinas will be Clayton Henning, and it appears to be Brendan Knockbar will stay on after playing some defense, and a good job getting off the field by Aquinas after giving up a touchdown on their first defensive possession of the second half. So we get set to punt here with 5.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. On his way, this one a high kick, running up to it. Now Clayton Henning signals for a fair catch, and will catch that one.
Reception by Clayton Henning.
Clayton Henning.
The Saints ball, 1st and 10.
And it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line.
23-yard line.
So Aquinas offense hasn't done a lot recently. Their defense set them up towards the end of the first half and allowed them to get a field goal. But even then, on a short field, they weren't able to do a whole lot with it. Try to get the offense back in sync. I give a lot of credit to this Stag defense. And here we go. Paul Height out on the field in the pistol formation. Now some miscommunication. Basket coming on the field late and trying to figure out where he's supposed to go. Plenty of time still on the play clock. Height motions him to the far side of the field. Over with Nick Williams. The pistol is Height. Low snap, fakes the handoff, rolls out, drops back in the pocket, throwing one up for Clayton, hitting the senior, and this one is hauled in by Henning, breaks a tackle out across the 20, 10, 5, touchdown St. Thomas Aquinas. Paul Height hooks up with the senior Clayton Henning, and just like that, Aquinas regains the lead. Some miscommunication, but they got it sorted out all right. A touchdown for Aquinas. A deep ball from Paul Height to Clayton Henning. And he was on man-to-man coverage out there, one-on-one. He hauled that one, a great catch, and the defender fell down, and there was nobody to catch Henning. 24-20 now, still with an extra point to go. That score coming with 5 minutes and 12 seconds. Height to Clayton Henning. So a fun game this has been, and a lot of offense. As looks like they're going to go for the two-point conversion. They'll stay on. The play clock down to 7 there. They're going to have to hurry. Down to 3. Still motioning. He's going to go under center now. Just gets the snap off. Zach Martinez stuffed in the backfield, and two-point conversion is unsuccessful. And that one kind of was unsuccessful from the beginning. A lot of miscommunication there, but Aquinas still gets a huge touchdown to answer after the defense gave him a nice stop. 24-20. This game going back and forth. We knew it would be a good one between these two teams, these two rivals, and it sure has. With 5:12 in the third quarter, Paul Height hooking up with Clayton Henning. A great pass from him, and he's been on target today. Last week towards the end of the game, we mentioned he had a couple of interceptions that helped aid a Blue Valley Northwest comeback, but this game he has been on target, and the Saints lead 24-20. And again, getting the job done mostly through the air tonight. A-10 varsity football brought to you by Air Associates. Now you can live the dream. Learning to fly with Air Associates can be one of the most exciting, rewarding, and challenging activities you'll ever experience. You'll have the most fun you've ever had. Their special flight packages will make your training even more affordable. Visit their website at takeoffkc.com as we're about set for the kickoff here as Aquinas will kick it away to Miege. McKinley Johnson right from around the 10-yard line, cutting across towards the middle of the field, trying to get to the far sideline. Grabbed down, a great special teams tackle on the play by number 58, David Urban, coming up with a nice tackle on special teams. And spotted at the 23 for Miege. Two touchdowns, similar to the first quarter where a lot of the scoring took place. None in this really in the second quarter until late. 3 wide receivers on the near side of the field. Cozart back in shotgun formation, looking for his man. That's going to be Johnson, and nearly batted away. Good, and almost hauled back in. A situation where the cornerback, Dylan Moran, got a hand on it, but Johnson still almost hauled it in, and then he dropped it, and it falls incomplete. Good defensive play. The senior quarterback, Dylan Moran, 6'1", 175-pounder. 2nd and 10 now, as Cozart and the Stags took a shot deep on first down. And they're going to overload that near side of the field again at wide receiver. We've seen it multiple times throughout the game, and they'll isolate Parmalee. Empty backfield for Cozart. Quarterback decides to keep it. And stuffed. Good defensive pressure up front. It's going to bring up about a 3rd and 9, if not a 3rd and 10. Not a whole lot going on for the quarterback as he tried to push the pile forward. 3rd and 8, they'll call it. 4:40 to go here in the third quarter. Aquinas leading 24-20 They led 18-14 at the half. Missed two-point conversion for them, however. Crowd comes to their feet, making some noise here on a 3rd and 8 from the 25. They'll overload the near side of the field. Though this time they'll isolate a wide receiver, McKinley Johnson. Empty backfield, dropping back in the flat. He looked at Parmalee, decides to throw it over to Johnson. Out of the reach of him, he reached out for it. Incomplete, brings up a 4th down, and they'll have to bring on the punt unit. Kozart was looking for the 5'9" sophomore wide receiver, and a good 3-and-out by the defense of Aquinas. And Aquinas, number 19 in the 8-10 varsity top 25. Miege coming in at number 13. Back deep for Aquinas is Clayton Henning and Brendan Nachbar. Nachbar, senior, along with Henning. Punt is away. Going up is Henning. This one, he'll take it right around the 30-yard line. Backpedals now, angling towards the sideline. And he'll have to go out of bounds, out across the 35-yard line, and right around the 38-yard line. And that's where Aquinas will get decent field position. Last drive, a huge pass play to Clayton Henning for a touchdown. And that put them up with 5-12, so their defense was only on the field for about a minute. That's what happens when you get a 3-and-out. So Height in the Aquinas offense back on the field. They'll go in the pistol formation with Zach Martinez, the lone tailback. Wide receiver on the near side is Henning. Far side is Scherzer and Williams along with Vickers. Dropping back, fakes the handoff. Now throwing it to Williams, a high pass. A dangerous pass as well. Williams got his fingertips on it. And a dangerous situation there. The defender, Timmy Mahoney, was out there as Height just threw that one out. A little high to Williams. Williams not a big guy. Only 5'7". 3:59 to go here in the 3rd quarter. A 2nd and 10 from the 39 now. Aquinas offense looking to the sideline for the play call with 15 seconds on the play clock. Vickers now and Williams, the wide receivers, on the far side of the field. Two tailbacks back in the backfield, Scherzer and Zach Martinez. Wide receiver on the near side is Henning. Hands it off to Scherzer. Fakes it, pitches it over to Martinez. This ball is on the ground and picked up by Miege. A fumble from Martinez and he's going to be tackled. We'll see where they spot it. He might have got in the end zone off of it. And it is touchdown Stags off the fumble. The pitch from Height and unable to control it with Zach Martinez. And just like that, Miege regains the lead, a game that's gone back and forth. A fumble recovery for a touchdown. At the 3:48 mark, a fumble recovery for a touchdown. Martinez off the pitch from Height fumbles. And pinning this extra point, they could go up by 3. Miege will do the shift on the extra point. The extra point is up and good, so a 27-24 lead as Martinez fumbled. Touchdown Miege. And it's 27-24 here in the 3rd quarter. A wild 3rd quarter so far. 8-10 varsity football brought to you by Mr. Goodsense. Ordering Goodsense is now quick and easy with Goodsense online ordering. Just log on to MrGoodsense.com and place your order today. And by the Kansas City Command, powering the 810varsity.com Top 25. Season tickets for the 2012 Arena Football League season at Sprint Center are on sale now. Call 855-KC-ARENA. And Alex Gold here with the call, along with videographer Stacy Smith. Miege offense is rolling now, but their defense that time coming up big for them. Nick Williams back deep along with Clayton Henning. High kick. Henning coming up near the 10-yard line, closer to the 15. He's trying to set up a block out across the 25, nearing the 30-yard line. He'll be tackled right there at the 30.
Returned by Clayton Henning.
Luke Taylor on the tackle. And let's see where they spot it, right around the 30. But Luke Taylor, the fullback on the team, also plays special teams. Only a sophomore coming up with the tackle of Henning. 3:42 to go here in the third quarter. 24-27. The Aquinas trails Miege. Well, spotted actually all the way up at the 32. Look closer to 31, but Aquinas will take it at the 32. And the pistol formation is Aquinas. Scherzer and Williams, the tailback. Henning, the wide receiver, on the near side. Vickers and Haas on the far side. Hands it off to Scherzer and tackled back in the backfield. That's a good tackle. That's the linebacker coming over the tackle there, Brad Ivy. They tried to sweep it, and Brad Ivy, the sophomore middle linebacker, coming over the tackle. And it's going to be 2nd and 13 from the 29-yard line. Pistol formation again. This time just Williams in the backfield as Scherzer and Henning are on the far side, on the near side. Dropping back his height, pump fakes, looking off the fingertips of Vickers and incomplete. It's going to bring up a third down now. He tried to get in to Vickers off his fingertips and it falls incomplete. And a hard hit there from the linebacker again. So a long third down now as Miege could use to stop us. Decent size fan section for Miege here at Aquinas. And they'll need a long completion here as Vickers, Henning, and Scherzer line up at wide receiver on the near side. Williams, the tailback, is Heights in the pistol. Drops back here, got some time, flushed out of the pocket and tackled right up the gut. Coming up with the sack is Thomas Shamit, 6'3" nose tackle, a senior. And that's going to back him up, and they're going to have to punt the football away back to Miege. Third down, 4th and 22. Henning will punt it away. A low kick, and it's blocked by the Stags. And going to be down right there. And so the Stags are going to get fantastic field position. They blocked an extra point earlier, and this time they block a punt. So the special teams unit comes up big again for the Stags. And so Miege will get the ball right around the 16-yard line. With 2.5 to go here in the third quarter. And they'll need another big stop from this Aquinas defense. So Montel Cozart, the junior quarterback, will go under center as they stay in the power formation. Tailback is Quanzi Johnson. They'll fake it at him. Throw this one out in the flat, completes his man. Out across for a first down and more. Still plowing forward. It's going to be 1st and goal now for the Stags. Down to the 5, and it's going to be 1st and goal. And a big completion in a dangerous situation as now Clayton Henning comes off the field. Maybe a little shaken up as well. And that's complete to Richard Smith, a 6'4" senior wide receiver. They'll spot him at the 6 with just over 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. A 27-24 lead for the Stags. And they are threatening again here in the third quarter. Empty backfield now for Cozart. One wide receiver on the near side. That's Parmalee, his favorite target. They'll overload the far side. Rolling out to the right as the quarterback. Cozart throws it up for Parmalee in the back of the end zone and incomplete. Well covered was Parmalee. 3 defenders from Aquinas trailing. Basco was back there as well on the coverage. So 2nd and goal now with 1:50 to go in the third. And again, this is right in the middle of a tough schedule for Aquinas. It doesn't get any easier here the next couple of weeks. And this game could be a huge win if they got to get a stop here, though. Second and goal. Pitching it out to Johnson on the left side. Going up towards the goal line and into the end zone. A touchdown for the Stags. The tailback finds the end zone. Quanzi Johnson, a 6-yard touchdown run on second and goal. And just like that, Miege with an extra point could be up by 10, which would be their biggest lead of the game. And Carter will come on for the extra point. Aquinas scored 18 points last week, and Miege scored 21 in their contest. And this one we knew would be a little bit higher scoring, especially with the way the game started out, as the extra point is up and good. So 24-34, Aquinas trails. Miege leading. Miege number 13 in the A-10 varsity top 25. Aquinas number 19. But Quanzi Johnson pounds that win off the sweep on the left side. Still a minute 45 to go here in the third quarter, but 8-10 varsity football brought to you by Mr. Good Sense. Ordering Good Sense is now quick and easy with Good Sense online ordering. Just log on to MrGoodSense.com and place your order today. And Aquinas could use a big return from a dangerous man, Nick Williams, but he hasn't been able to get the ball much on these returns. They've tried different things to get in the ball, like a reverse, a back deep, along with Nick Williams is Brendan Knockbar, and they could use a heck of a return. Alex Gold here with a call, along with videographer Stacy Smith. We thank you for tuning in as the kick is away, back deep, Knockbar, and they haven't had an opportunity to return these, as it's been great kickoffs, not giving Aquinas any chance of returning it. So down by 10, the Aquinas offense will come back on the field, looking to get something going here. Still plenty of time to go. It's $1:45 in the third. They could use a solid drive here, as the Miege offense all of a sudden has been rolling. Aquinas out of the shotgun formation. 2 setbacks. Nick Williams, Zach Martinez, wide receivers on the near side. Scherzer and Henning. Fakes it, taking himself his height, out across the 25. Gain of about 5 or 6 yards play. 5 or 6 on the play for Paul Height. And they'll spot him at the 25. It's 2nd and 5. Scherzer now goes out to the far side at wide receiver. Near side is Williams and Henning. Pistol formation, Zach Martinez, the tailback. Rolling out to the right. Quarterback dumps off the middle of the field. He's got Nick Williams for first down and more, right around the 35. First down. Paul Height slow getting up after the play. He got hit pretty good and just now getting back on his feet. As he took a licking from that defense, but it's complete as he found his man right across the middle. As we go under a minute to go here in the third quarter. Aquinas trying to roll here. Hitting the lone wide receiver now on the near side. 3 on the far side. Martinez, the tailback, split out to his left. Dropping back his height, quickly dumps it off to Williams. And that one bounces incomplete. Quickly try to get it out to the tailback, Nick Williams. That's going to be 2nd and 10 now, with 41 seconds to go here in the third. Both teams, again, if you're just joining us, scoring easily in the first quarter. Total offense in the first half in general, both teams over 200 yards, mainly through the air. And the Miege offense has really picked up from there, but Aquinas still trying to catch up. Martinez gets the handoff, now trying to evades a tackler in the backfield, pounces up, and gets a hard hit. A nice lick by the middle linebacker there, Brad Ivy. But Martinez does evade a tackler in the process and picks up a good, makes it a manageable third down for Aquinas. Looks like they'll spot him around the 39-yard line, a 3rd and 6 situation for Paul Height in this Aquinas offense as they trail by 10. staying in the pistol. Vickers and Scherzer, the wide receivers on the far side. Near side is Williams and Henning. Dropping back to pass. Dumps it off to Martinez, and he's going to be wrapped up in the backfield. I'll lose a couple of yards. That was Timmy Mahoney. And it's going to bring up a 4th down. They're going to have to punt as the special teams units for both teams comes on. Clayton Henning on the punt. Back deep for Miege is Trey Parmalee. As we're down about 5 seconds and continues to roll here. They still will punt it. Bobbled, gets control of it. A high kick towards the sideline, though. A bad kick, and this one is going to bounce at the 50, and it's going to bounce the opposite way into Aquinas territory, close to the 49. We'll probably spot it right around the 50. And not a good kick. Again, a bobbled snap. So that's going to do it for the 3rd quarter. Miege with a nice 3rd quarter. And all of a sudden with a 10-point lead. 8-10 varsity football brought to you by Factory Direct Appliance. Time to buy a new washer and dryer. Need a facelift to the kitchen? Factory Direct Appliance has 5 locations across the Kansas City area, including the Northland at 152 Highway and North Oak. Special financing available by Factory Direct, and save at Factory Direct Appliance. Call 816-468-8344 or visit us at kcfda.com. Again, we thank you all for tuning in here on 810 Varsity. It's been a fantastic football game on the last Friday night of September. Not a bad night either. Temperatures now into the mid-50s. Around kickoff, it was about 65. Wind really not a factor at all here tonight. We've seen a field goal by Aquinas, but they need a defensive stop now more than anything after a poor punt. 24-34 is what Aquinas trails now. Here in Overland Park, Kansas, Aquinas in the navy and gold, Miege in the white. Under center is Cozart, pitches it out to Johnson on the right side, got some room, bounces through for about 3 yards, 4 yards on the play. Let's see where they spot it. We'll give him 4 yards. 2nd and 6. Henry Krause, the linebacker on the tackle. And they're in Aquinas territory now, and a solid drive by Miege here could really put Aquinas in a tough spot. Already trailing by 10. At the very least, they need to hold them to a field goal attempt. I would assume Miege would go for it at that point, though. Cozart stays under center. Fakes the handoff now, gives it over to Johnson. Swifts through a couple of defenders there, and another couple of yards. Going to bring up a manageable 3rd down and about 3, maybe a long 3. With over 11 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. Yeah, 3rd and 3 from the 43. Both teams with 3 timeouts. And they'll stay under center here. The crowd will come to life. The student section, no benches on the far side of the field, only on the near side. They'll toss it out to Johnson, a high toss. He gets control of it out across, enough for a 1st down as he goes across the 40-yard line. And a 1st down for Miege. The clock will continue to roll as well, and that will start to become a factor here. They'll get a fresh set of downs. 8-10 varsity football brought to you by Mr. Goodson's. $5 footlong subs are back at Mr. Goodson's. 7 great subs to choose from. Come see what fresh really is at Mr. Goodson's. So from the 39, now they'll spread things out again. 3 wide receivers on the near side. As the quarterback, Cozart, goes out of the shotgun. He's got his tailback, Johnson, to his left. Parmalee, the wide receiver, isolated on the far side. Cozart decides to keep it himself off the right side. Got some room across the 1st down and more. Near the 25-yard line, the quarterback keeps it himself. As the clock will go under 10 minutes on the restart. And this is a big drive for Miege. Can you seal the game? And that's what they have an opportunity to do here with a touchdown drive.
Stags first down. 25-yard line.
So 1st and 10 from the 25. They'll stick in the same formation. Johnson and Mahoney, one of the wide receivers, along with Adam Novak on the near side. The tailback is Quanzi Johnson. Quarterback keeps it himself again. Not a whole lot this time. He's tackled right at the line of scrimmage. He's dragged down. Sam Kindred, the left end, a senior, in there on the tackle. 2nd and 10 as we're under 9.5 to go in the 4th quarter. From the 25 of Aquinas. And they're going to use every little bit of this play clock as they begin to use it. The game clock itself, play clock down to 7, game clock getting close to 9. Out of the shotgun formation again, same formation. This time, though, Quanzi Johnson split out to the left, switches, and we're going to get a timeout because they were not going to get that play off as the play clock was down to 2. That's the first timeout by Bishop Miege. They'll have 2 remaining. Aquinas still with all 3 timeouts on a 2nd and 10, and they could sure use a stop from their defense now as they trail 34-24. As a quarter really in the 3rd dominated by Miege, and they opened up with a fantastic drive that started right around their own 20-yard line, and they took it all the way for a touchdown. And then some mistakes by Aquinas offensively with some turnovers has led to this 10-point lead for Miege. Now, as I mentioned, a tough road going forward, really for both teams, specifically Aquinas. Bishop Miege tonight, then they go down to Webb City next Friday night. And they come back home, at least to this area. Blue Valley, who at halftime was up 63-7 over Blue Valley North. So that's a tough stretch for this Aquinas football team as they're 3-1 in this contest. Miege 3-1 as well. Up next for Miege will be Mill Valley. Blue Valley West as well. There we go. They'll hand it off to Johnson. Tackled, a good tackle by the linebacker. That's Andrew Horn, the senior. Gets a big tackle. It's going to bring up a long 3rd down here. 3rd and 9 from the 24. And this is it. This is a big down for this Aquinas defense, especially if you can prevent them from even gaining any yards on this play, because I don't think this Miege team is going to kick a field goal. They're probably going to go for 4th down no matter what. So if it's a 4th and short, there's no doubt they're going for it. They'll go under center, though, here with a power formation. They'll isolate Parmalee, the wide receiver on the far side. Kozar barking orders out to his right tackle. Go with the power formation. Dropping back, they're going to actually pass. He's got some time. Flushed out to the left now. Stops, throws this one up in the far corner of the end zone. Nobody home. And that's a 4th down. Stops the clock as well. 8:03 to go here in the 4th. And the quarterback will come off the field. Kozart will. And so let's see what they try to do here. And we may get a long field goal attempt now here by Miege to try to make it a 13-point game. And we've seen the leg. We've seen the leg on the kickoffs. This one, a little more pressure involved, and he's got to obviously get it through the uprights. This is Carter. Around a 41-yard field goal attempt. A 41-yard field goal attempt here. This is going to be what could be a huge kick one way or the other. High snap, good hold. Oh, and low, never got up. It's blocked by Aquinas. And a chance where he could have ran with it, just diving on the football there, was Dylan Moran. But if he picks that one up, he's taking that all the way. But nonetheless, a huge stop. That kick never even made it up. And it results in a block kick. And mark that one down, a block kick. That could be a huge thing for this Aquinas football team on a 41-yard field goal attempt. Their team comes up with a block with 7:58 to go. And that field goal would have made it 13 points. So a huge, huge stand. So they'll roll that as a block, but that kick never even made it up. So empty backfield now for the Aquinas offense from their own 33. Height out of the shotgun. Martinez along with Henning, wide receivers on the far side. Dropping back now is Height. Got some time. Throws this one up for Henning. Double coverage there. It's picked off by Trey Parmalee. He's now across midfield, and he's going to take this one back quite a ways. Gets a block on the sideline, trying to cut back across the middle of the field, and he's going to go all the way in. Fumble, no! Fumble at the end. Scherzer forces it, and now we'll see who recovers this one in the end zone. And it's going to be a touchdown. Parmalee with the interception, and he was going in the end zone. He thought he was gone. Knocked out by Austin Scherzer, but recovered in the end zone. Bishop Miege, and that is a complete disaster for Aquinas. You get the huge block, and then into double coverage. The ball is thrown, picked up by Parmalee, and he returns this one back for a touchdown. You thought at the end of the play they might have had a chance to recover it in the end zone. That's going to make this one tough to come back from now. A 40-24 lead, and still an extra point to go off that interception return for a touchdown. With 7:36 to go here in the fourth quarter. Carter will come on again. This time he gets the kick up enough. Still kind of stutter step there on the kick, but luckily this one is up. And they didn't even know if the extra point went in. Both refs looked at each other, and they say it did. So 41-24 all of a sudden. And really the second half has been dominated by Miege, and Aquinas had a great opportunity there, but tried to get it all back in one play, and then the return sure didn't help. Good hustle by Scherzer, but not have anybody else down there when he popped the ball out towards the goal line. So 41-24 with 7:36 to go in the game. Here on 810varsity.com, Alex Gold along with our videographer Stacy Smith. We thank you for tuning in. Again, we've got all of Bishop Miege and all of Aquinas. Those are two teams that we cover all the games. We're down in Webb City next week. If it's not live, we'll have it archived on 810varsity.com. Again, the 810 Varsity Top 25 is powered by the Kansas City Command, and Miege might be moving up in that poll here if they hold on. They're number 13 right now. A squib kick up to the up man and bobbles it, but he does get control of it. They decide just to squib it. Didn't even want to get Nick Williams a chance. We mentioned how successful Nick Williams has been on kickoffs. They didn't even want to give him a chance. And the Saints will take over right around the 45-yard line. With 7:36 to go. And the crowd here at Aquinas has really gotten quiet as Miege has opened this one up. Leading by 17 all of a sudden. Out of the pistol formation is Height following the interception. Martinez, the tailback. Rolls out to the left, doesn't pitch, he decides to hold on to it, and wisely, I guess, if you want to say that. I mean, he still gets a loss, but that was actually Austin Scherzer in there, switching to quarterback, as Paul Height now is out. Paul Height just on the sidelines. Scherzer will come in. Scherzer, a junior. And Height, a senior, and a tough night for him. Had a great start. Last week also had a rough second half as well. And unfortunately, that interception here today as well. 2nd and 15 from the 40. Martinez and Nick Williams, the tailbacks. Scherzer now running again to the right. Fakes the pitch. He's going to be tackled down. Nothing going again. They continue to try to just run the ball with Scherzer, as they are not passing it right now. And it's going to be 3rd and 16 with 6:35, and this offense is just completely stalled at this point in the fourth quarter. As Height has his hands behind his back, standing on the sideline, watching the junior take his place here late in the game. three wide receivers on the far side. Vickers, Henning, and Williams. Near side wide receiver is Haas. Rolling out to the left is Scherzer. Under pressure, just throws this one up. Intercepted. And a dangerous play, and this one's going to go back to the house. Cole Pickert with the interception for the Stags. That's 2 interceptions for touchdowns on back-to-back defensive possessions. And all of a sudden, this one has turned into a blowout here. And some fans starting to roll up the blankets. 47-24. As Scherzer, a ball he probably shouldn't have thrown, just threw that one up, looking possibly for his running back, Martinez. But Scherzer, the backup quarterback, picked off by Cole Pickert, a sophomore. So on for the extra point now. The kick is up and good. 48-24. And so this turned the opposite way very quickly. Aquinas led at halftime. But things have fallen apart for them here in the second half. They led 18-13 at the half, had a field goal right before the half, and had a chance to even add more, unable to do that. And here in the second half, though, Miege started off with a fantastic drive for a touchdown, forcing some turnovers, and now just some mental mistakes by Aquinas, just kind of adding to the wounds here as their quarterbacks for Aquinas, both of them picked off on back-to-back drives, both for touchdowns. One by Palmery. So Palmerly's have a great game. Back deep, Nick Williams. He'll take it again. He's a dangerous man. They could use something here. Going right up the gut with the speed. Hit right away. A hard hit close to the 30-yard line. Number 35, Jack Wirtz, coming up with the tackle. 5:55 to go here, trailing 48-24. 3 timeouts for Aquinas, 2 for Miege. And Paul Height still standing outside of the huddle. They're going to leave Scherzer in. His night is done. The offense was clicking early on, but it really struggled here towards the end. Out of the pistol formation now is Scherzer. Michael Baska in at wide receiver on the near side along with Vickers. Martinez still the tailback. Looking for the pitch, decides to keep it up across the 40. He's got some room out across near the 50, out across it. And into Stag territory. Nice keeper by Austin Scherzer. Decided to keep it instead of pitching it out to Martinez. And down to around the 47-yard line. A 24-yard run by Austin Scherzer, the quarterback. So they'll stay on the pistol. This time, Henning, Williams, and Baska, the wide receivers on the far side. Near side wide receiver is Vickers. Rolling out to the left. Keeps it himself this time again. Going up the middle and picks up a couple of yards on the play. And they'll give him 3, 2nd and 7 from the 44-yard line. 8-10 varsity football brought to you by Nick and Jake's. Nick and Jake's, real food, honest drink. Nick and Jake's, the proud title sponsor of 810varsity.com. Check out our promotions throughout the season on Facebook or on Twitter at Nick and Jake's. Out of the pistol, Scherzer hands it off to Martinez. Trying the right side, got some room out across the 40. And the ball popped out of the end, but he was down. Mahoney for the Stags came with the football at the bottom of the pile, but Martinez is ruled down, and he's going to come up a little shaky as well, and now they're going to have to stop here as he can't get off the field. That's Zach Martinez struggling to get off the field. It's going to be a 3rd and 3 when they return to action, however, right around the 39. So we're going to back up tailback coming in the game for Aquinas, Joel Edwards. Scherzer rolling to the right. Thought about the reverse. Nothing was there, and he's going to be nailed in the backfield. About 2 defenders back there. That's number 54, the linebacker, Brad Ivy again, coming in with a tackle. And it's 4th down, and they're going to have to bring on the punt unit. And Brendan Nockbar will punt it away this time. McKinley Johnson back deep for the Stags. Under 3:50 to go in the 4th quarter. Miege leading 48-24, and trying to get a player off the field at the last minute is Aquinas. That's David Cordy. Low snap, bounces in front of him. He's going to have to take it himself, and then tries to just pooch it over. An interesting play near the 40, and then a flag comes down late as both Nockbar and then now a Miege player hits his helmet. They're going to go, this will be a personal foul on Miege. Richard Smith should be getting an unsportsmanlike penalty. That's Richard Smith, and he went right up into Nockbar's helmet and hit it with his. It could be offsetting, but definitely the second flag was for Richard Smith, a senior wide receiver, on what was a strange punt play there. The ball bounced, actually, the snap bounced in front of him. He picks it back up, thought about running, and then just pooched it. And we'll see if they just rule these offsetting. But 3:29 to go here in the game, a 48-24 lead for Miege. And here we go. Let's see what the call is.
After the play was over, we have a dead ball, personal foul.
And it's going to be unsportsmanlike.
For kicking a player, he's been ejected.
They're going to eject. And they're going to say he kicked the player, he's going to be ejected. And it's not. And we'll also get one. Looks like Richard Smith.
An unsportsmanlike on Miege, 15 yards.
So an interesting sequence there. That was a wild one. You had a punt that bounced in front of the punter, picks it up, decides to run, then it pooches it. Then you get a personal foul, kicking a player ejected for Aquinas. I believe it was Brendan Nockbar. Nockbar gets ejected. And then a personal foul called on Richard Smith for retaliating. And this game really has just kind of turned into a disaster here for Aquinas, as they trail 48-24. And now they try to sort things out. But Nockbar making a mental mistake, a frustrating point of the game. And still trying to sort things out. Both teams, and we'll get it sorted out. And the fouls offset, which at this point is kind of a moot point. And it's going to be Miege football with 3:29 to go. And this game's kind of turned into a mess now. And the spotting is now a little bit off right now. And still trying to sort things out. And again, this is 810 Varsity Football. You can listen to all Aquinas and Miege games on 810varsity.com. And it's 1st and 10. They're going to spot it at the 48-yard line. And interesting ruling. Again, the penalty's offset, but they will spot at the 48. Still some confusing. They're going to call the refs back in, and now it's just some stoppage of play, as this game is slowed down quite a bit. And some people in the crowd starting to leave now. And we thank those of you that have stuck with us here throughout this game. And what was a high-scoring second half for Miege. They only had 13 at the half, and they now lead 48-24. Pitching it out to the running back, Johnson, is Kozar, and hit right in the backfield, slammed down by number 72, Matt Clemens. as they're just trying to run the clock down. Matt Clemens. 3 minutes to go here in the game. And with Nakbar being ejected, not going to be able to play next week, which is a big blow as they had a tough game against Webb City. It looks like now they're going to drop 2 in a row and drop to 3-2. Pick up their second loss in the EKL as well. Out of, under center again is Kozart. Hands it up to the tailback, right up the gut. This is number 24 for Bishop Miege, his first carry of the game. This is Connor De Leon. So De Leon will get the carry as the clock continues to roll under 2.5 minutes. And 3rd and 10 from the 47 now. I mentioned next up for Bishop Miege is Blue Valley West. Just over 2 minutes to go now. Again, hands it off to De Leon, out up to the 45-yard line. And it's going to be 4th down and 8, and the offense for the Stags probably just going to stay out on the field and just run as much time off. They may bring out the punt you eventually, but they have 20 seconds on the play clock and about 1:37 on the game clock. Again, Alex Gold here, along with our videographer Stacy Smith. Want to thank her for a great job today. Again, you can check out our recap if you missed part of this game, see what the heck happened here in the second half for Aquinas. You can check out an archive version on 810varsity.com. Pitching it out to De Leon, out across the 40 near the 35, pushed out of bounds and a 1st down. And that's going to do it, as they'll get a fresh set of downs. And they can just run this clock out completely. And now the quarterback, Montel Kozart, will go to the sideline and not come back out. I thought they were going to pull him, but they're going to have him stay in there and maybe take a couple of knees as we're at 1:11 as the clock resets. And they can run about 2 more plays, and this one's over. A 48-24 win for the Stags of Bishop Miege after a tough loss last week. Under center is Kozart. He will hand it off to De Leon. They won't kneel it. De Leon keeps going. He goes out of bounds. Probably should just take a knee. And the clock will stop. So 2nd and 7 from the 31. And they'll reset the clock, and it doesn't really matter. Now they appear to take a knee finally. And they'll let this one go as far as possible down. 7 on the play clock, and that's what Kozart's waiting for. 5-4. And he'll take a knee at 4, and that is going to do it. Bishop Miege comes in to St. Thomas Aquinas with a victory. A much-needed one, and they leave 4-1 on the season. Aquinas drops to 3-2. We thank all of you for tuning in here to this broadcast on 810varsity.com. A 48-24 win for the Stags over St. Thomas Aquinas. We'll see you from Webb City next week for those of you on 810 Varsity's Aquinas broadcast. And again, next up for Miege, Blue Valley West. For Stacey Smith, our videographer, I'm Alex Gold. You guys have a fantastic evening, and we'll see you next week from Webb City. A 48-24 win for Miege.